Hey Bulls and Bears, it's Sunday, August 7th, 2022, and yes, the economic outlook just grew darker. And some of the news that we've got picked out for you today is going to be pretty, some might say amazing, others might just call it sad, but it is reality. It's not comic books, it's not superheroes, and it's not rainbows and unicorns. It's really what is happening. So let's go ahead and get into it right now. Now, there was some jokes and a lot of memes going around about this one. Is this the official sign that the recession is here? People are so desperate that they're stealing spam, and now spam has to have anti-theft devices in some of these retailers. All right, it used to just be the more expensive items. We know that video games in many stores, including just Walmart and Target, are commonly locked behind glass encasements because of the theft and because how expensive they are. But now this has gotten down to even cans of spam. And some people out there still believe that this economy is recovering, that people are better off today than they were just a few years ago. Folks, the savings rate has plunged now, even worse than what it was pre-pandemic. So people want to blame this on the shutdowns, the health crisis. But why is it worse now than what it was even before that whole thing came out? So we're locking up spam. I don't think anyone would have guessed this a few years ago that anti-theft devices would be put on something like spam. Now here is the next bit of ludicrousness. I'm not sure if that's a word, but if it wasn't, it is now. Ludicrousness. Workers asking for pay raises risk embedding inflation, says bank boss. Edward Bailey, the governor of the Bank of England, actually said this. So now inflation is because you're making too much. So they're going to blame this on pay being too high. Can you believe it? Now there's some truth to this. The more money people have to spend, the higher prices go. For example, when everyone could get a mortgage, we all saw what happened in the previous housing bubble. When everyone qualifies for a mortgage, when people can spend money they don't have, well, prices skyrocket. But now they're taking it to the next level. They're saying, okay, people's pay is too much, so people that have more income can go buy more. So now they're going to blame that for the rising cost and inflation that we're seeing. Pretty ridiculous. Please let me know what you think down in comments. But of course, that's their job. They're not going to point to the trillions and trillions of dollars, all these spending packages, the out of control debt, the never ending government spending. They're going to blame it on your paycheck being too much and you having too much money to spend. In the meantime, savings has plunged. People are in the most debt they've ever been in. But yet we have people like this who I'm going to guess hasn't missed a meal in decades. People like this out there saying that your pay is the cause of inflation. And these are the types of people that we have making major decisions with the economy, with the financial system across the globe. And with these types of people in these positions, does anyone think that things are going to get better? Well, if you do, please let me know down in the comments. But I see things getting worse, especially when you have people like this out there in these types of positions. Now let's shift over to homelessness, and I think we all know by now that the worse the economy gets, the more debt that people get in, the more emotional troubles you see with people just in general in society, the more people are going to become homeless because of these reasons. Also financially, of course, as housing is just too expensive for most people, it's going to push more people over the edge, both emotionally and financially. And of course, homelessness as a result is skyrocketing. Here's what's happening down in Miami. We're looking at a shot here of just one of the areas of the many areas in Miami where homelessness is very noticeable with tents on the street. And right here, a homeless encampment in Southwest 2nd Street. There in Miami, officials posted notices saying that there would be cleaning in the area. And that requires those living in the tents there to remove their stuff. So now there are people out there, officials, talking about creating a homeless island, and that's going to be putting a bunch of tiny homes on one of the keys, on one of the islands off Florida. And we have this headline out of the Miami Herald: County could fight Miami's plan for tiny homes for homeless on island. Now, some people say this is a great idea. It would be less of an eyesore, less people living in tents. Other people say, hey, there's millionaires living out there on these islands, and why should they have to put up with villages of tiny homes with homeless people, right? So there's two sides of this coin here, or different opinions. Please let me know what you think down in comments here, the viewers of this channel. Is this a good idea? Is this a great way to give people, one, a tiny home, but then two, get them out of the city where there's just tents on a lot of these sidewalks? I think it's a good idea. Of course, if you're living in one of these mansions on this island, of course, you're going to be one of the people that disagree with this. Now, here's some real nice drone footage of this Florida Key, and this is where the homeless encampment is going to be set up. As you can see, it's very developed, it's very modern. And what do you think about this? Is this a good idea? And I've said this before, but here's my opinion. I think we do need to set aside a place for homeless people, not just tents on a sidewalk somewhere, but actual villages. This should be something that all these spending packages should address. Instead, it sends money all over the globe, but never really addresses many of the problems that we have here at home. Am I saying this is going to be a solution, a long-term solution? No, but it's better than feces and tents on the sidewalk in some of these cities. Other people say let the people in the cities deal with it because they basically asked for it in a sense, so they should suffer the consequences, and they should have tents up all over their cities because of their views and whatnot. But again, it's a very interesting topic regardless of what side of the field you're on in this opinion. And this footage, by the way, is from the Delvis D YouTube channel. We'll link to the full video. That will be linked under this video. Next, more on the global economic front. The number of companies filing for insolvency in the UK last quarter, the second quarter, 2022, was the highest since 2009. A situation that's expected to get worse before it gets better, and that's reported out of Bloomberg. Right, so a massive number of companies growing insolvent. In fact, in the UK, corporate insolvencies jumped 81%, again, the highest since 2009. And this is the economic recovery, and unemployment near a 50-year low. So we've got these contradicting bits of evidence, right? We hear what's being told to us, that the economy is doing good, and that we can withstand these rate hikes because the unemployment's so low. And also because unemployment's so low, there's officially there's no recession now officially. They changed the definition. So excellent. So if the economy's so great, why do we need a homeless island? Why do we need to lock up spam because so many people are desperate and they're stealing these items? Why are corporate insolvencies why have they jumped 81% to the highest level since 2009? All right, you can't make this up. The economic news is just getting more and more interesting. Some people say darker. I think it just looks like things are going to continue to get worse, but the facade is going to continue to fool most of the people as most people just accumulate debt and spend recklessly, and it's not going to be a good ending for a lot of people. And I hope everyone on this channel is continuing to stack, continuing to be aware of what's really happening with the economy, and everybody's going to be ready for what's ahead of us. What am I doing? Continuing to put away money where I can, not spending foolishly. Some people call me a bummer, a stick in the mud, and no fun. But I'm just trying to find better ways to have fun, cheaper ways to have fun. And if you gave me a choice, I'll take a day of jogging around a lake and exercising versus going to an amusement park and spending hundreds of dollars. Up until I busted my foot, that was. And actually with a busted foot, I wouldn't want to go to an amusement park either. That would be a lot of walking. Either way, let me know what you're doing to help prepare for what's coming, and what do you think about these stories today. The spam, homeless island, the bank boss saying that rising wages are a problem for inflation, the corporate insolvency surge, over there in the UK, up 81%, the highest since 2009. Very interesting, folks. Hope you like this report. Please like, subscribe if you like these videos. Come back for more. See you next time. Peace.